Next up, do you have any regrets when it comes to streaming? There are definitely some, I guess, like moments that I regret or that I feel like I would have rather learned that off stream. Are you ever going to ask your fans not to donate money that they actually admit that they cannot afford? I want to start off by saying so many of these videos that you see or tweets are just jokes, so these people are not actually people that have ever donated to me. However, I do realize that there are surely people who donate when it isn't financially responsible for them to do so. Are you shingle? Maybe one day, if we've been dating long enough and I and they are comfortable enough sharing our private life, then I'll become a family vlog channel. I don't know. I think this is it.
What?
I think I'm finally doing it.
Doing what?
I think I'm finally filming my 5 mil Q&A. Woo! Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a Q&A to celebrate 5 million subscribers. That number is insane. Thank you so much to anyone who's ever watched a video, commented, liked, supported me in any way, and of course, hit that sub button. I can't even fathom that many people being interested in my content, so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, no.
Alright guys, I had to quickly pause the video and mention that I didn't realize I filmed this whole thing while having what looks like a jar of bum cream out. But it's not that, it's a full body moisturizer called Brazilian Bum Cream. It smells so good, it smells like vanilla. And yeah, I just needed to put it out there, okay? Okay. Before we get into some of the questions that I was asked on Twitter, let me go over the basic FAQs for who I am as a person. So my real name is Iman, it's spelled I-M-A-N-E. In English it's kind of said Iman, in French it's Iman.
Iman. Iman.
And in Arabic it's Iman, it means faith. My favorite food is spaghetti, my favorite color is blue. I turned 24 2 weeks ago. I've been streaming since I was 17, so a bit over 6 years, almost 7. I was born in Morocco, and then me and my family moved to Canada. I grew up in Canada, and now I live in Los Angeles with a bunch of gamer friends. And my favorite thing to do is play games. And I have a really cute cat named Mimi. First question, what are some things that bring you up when you feel down? I feel like others, myself included, typically turn to streams or watching stuff on YouTube when we feel down. Personally speaking, I love to watch anything that really gets me out of my head because I'm definitely an overthinker. So anything that really preoccupies my brain, whether it's a really good TV show, anime, movie, even a book, it's really juicy. I've got a couple of those that I've been reading recently. So anything that really gets my mind in a better place, or at least a preoccupied place so I'm not feeling as bad. Even TikToks. I've had some rough times where one of the only things that makes me laugh is just those TikTok compilations that are like, they're titled like TikToks that saved me from depression.
Damn, it really do be beautiful outside right now. But you know what it's not beautifuler than? It's not better beautifuler than you.
Those are actually surprisingly good. Some other things that I highly recommend that maybe won't instantly help but can help elevate your mood over time include taking vitamin D, that can help a lot, regularly meditating, exercising, like even just taking a nice walk. It doesn't have to be like benching 300 pounds, just getting out, getting some sunlight and moving your body. You'll really find that having a healthier body just helps you have a healthier mind as well. And drink lots of water. Hydration is key, not just for health or mental health, but also, you can quote me on this, drinking water improves your aim. I'm serious.
One enemy remaining.
Just try it, Next question, do you feel accomplished? I think with my personality type, it's kind of difficult for me to feel accomplished because my brain is kind of always figuring out what to do next, what to do better, how can I problem solve or improve. But when I really sit down and think about it and think about the things that I've accomplished and having just turned 24, I think that I've accomplished more than I thought I would at this age, which that in and of itself does make me feel really proud and pretty good about myself. I also think it's kind of difficult because when you're in this line of work, there's always like a channel that's bigger than you, or you're always kind of being compared by numbers, and numbers never really stop going up, so it never feels like you've really done enough. So I think it is actually really important to take time to just sit, realize the good things you've done, the things you're proud of, and to really feel that gratitude. So I guess the answer is naturally not quite. When I think about it, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Next up, do you have any regrets when it comes to streaming? I will admit, I'm definitely one of those cheesy people that says, a regret isn't really a regret as long as you learn from it. That's definitely something my dad said growing up, and it's just been ingrained in my brain. But I really do feel that way, so there aren't many things that I feel like I completely regret, because I feel like they were things that I had to go through to learn and become either a better person or a better streamer, or to better understand others even. But there are definitely some, I guess, like moments that I regret, or that I feel like I would have rather learned that off stream. I think one of the best examples when it comes to streaming is that, you know, when you're live for so many hours on end, especially for me, I don't have like a super easy time articulating myself, and I can sometimes be kind of an emotional person. So sometimes I wish like I hadn't reacted to something, or I wish I expressed my opinion in a different manner. It's kind of like that feeling when either you have a conversation with someone or even a fight with someone, and hours later you're like, I wish I said this, or I said it this way. It's exactly like that, except the difference is when you're streaming, thousands of people are watching and judging what you're saying and telling you how you should have said it better or differently. That's a little bit of a challenge, but I just try to remember that it's a learning process, and hopefully I get better with it every year, and also that I'm only human, so. How do you deal with annoying kids / simp comments? So initially the person that asked the question said, how do you just deal with kids online? But I added in annoying because I really do think that there's a lot of kids or younger people that watch online content or enjoy streams or videos without being annoying or leaving weird comments. I gotta admit, sometimes it can be kind of disturbing, the stuff that people say, but I also understand that kids especially say things without fully understanding the weight of their words. I just hope that, you know, they grow and learn and are better. And I think that, especially in combination with the anonymity of the internet, can lead to some not great things that people say.
True, and yeah, that's pretty true.
Sometimes just like the worst side of people comes out online because they know that they can't really be held liable for it. Either way, I kind of try to avoid my exposure to people's comments all the time because I don't think it's too good for my mental health. As for simp comments, I don't know, I kind of feel like the reasoning for why people say simp a lot is a bit more complex, or it's a bit more to unpack. And I think at first, like, there were some really funny memes in regards to it, but I feel like at this point it's a little bit overused, and it kind of makes me uncomfortable when people use it in like an aggressive way. Like if someone is remotely nice to me and they're just like simp, 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 I think that's a little bit weird. I guess overall, when it comes to stuff that makes me uncomfortable online, I kind of just feel like it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But also that I'm lucky enough to just have a community or fan base of any sorts, and statistically speaking, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. I think it's just better to focus on the people that do. Are you single? I actually don't get this question much when it comes to streaming, and I think it's because my regular audience, like I've answered this question so many times over 7 years of making videos and streaming. I address it, I think, in like every single Q&A video, but I understand there's always new people. So to those, I'd like to explain that Ever since I started streaming at 17, I kind of made the rule of not really talking about my private life publicly, and I think that's because I understood that, you know, between the ages of like 17 to 23, 24, I'm bound to meet different people, get into different relationships, experience heartbreak, whatever it is, and I kind of decided that I would rather experience those things privately and deal with them privately, because I feel like that allows me to truly have the experience without the pressures or judgments of people online, whether those pressures and judgments are on myself or are on other people in my private life. So yeah, that's kind of always been my rule or my guideline, and so far people have been pretty respectful of it, and I appreciate that a lot. And maybe one day, if I'm seeing someone and we've been dating long enough and I and they are both comfortable enough sharing our private life, then I'll become a family vlog channel. I don't know. Future plans for content creation. I do have a lot of interest in creating a lot of different type of content, some more like personal stuff, talking about like books I like, or being more in-depth about my personality, or things that are, I guess, non-gaming related, but I get kind of shy in regards to doing that because my past content has been like so predominantly gameplay, but I'm always figuring out ways to kind of slowly incorporate it more into my channel, and I love it when you guys let me know what kind of IRL content you want to see from me, so let me know in the comments. Are you ever going to ask your fans not to donate money that they actually admit that they cannot afford? Seen some videos about your fans and they are troubling. Please address this. Thanks. For starters, thank you for asking a pretty sensitive question, but in a kind manner. Pokisims has basically become a sort of meme, so I want to start off by saying so many of these videos that you see or tweets are just jokes, so these people are not actually people that have ever donated to me. However, I do realize that there are surely people who donate when it isn't financially responsible for them to do so, whether it's to me or any other streamer, and I try really hard to discourage that sort of behavior. I honestly feel really guilty if people give me even like $10 or $20, because I feel like that money could go to such a better cause, or would have been better off if that person just kept it, or would have been better used if they just kept it. That's actually one of the reasons that I reached out to Streamlabs and I asked them if, in the same way that you can set a minimum amount to donate, I could set a maximum amount as well to perhaps further discourage that sort of behavior. So hopefully that's a feature that they're going to implement, but I really just want to reiterate that most streamers don't know their donators on a personal level, so it's hard to know whether someone donating it's ever done in a responsible or irresponsible manner. So the best that I really try to do is just to tell people to take care of themselves, only ever donate with dispensable income. Your livelihood is so important, and that's what should be prioritized. How do you deal with the stress that comes from so many pairs of eyes on you, / people's assumptions or nitpicks of your character / mannerisms without getting down from it? Honestly, sometimes when I feel like there's so many eyes on me, I just look away. No, but seriously, I just get the heck off of anything online, social media, streaming, making videos, if I feel very overwhelmed. I think that's a really important thing to do. But for real, I feel like human beings are not meant to intake like hundreds of thousands of people's opinions on them, and at the end of the day, we're only human. Some things will get to you sometimes, but the things that I do to lessen the amount of times that it gets to me definitely include not spending too much time on social media or too much time reading comments and intaking that sort of thing, and really relying on my friends and the people around me to tell me the truth in regards to situations where I need a second opinion, as well as to keep me grounded, to remind me of the person that I want to be. So I think it's really important to kind of keep a bit of distance between all of this bombardment of comments and leading in everyday life. And I try to create distance between like the person that I showcase to you guys all the time and also having a private life, because the nice thing about keeping certain things private is all these people online can't judge you on things that they don't even know. So yeah, I guess those are the things that I do. Would you go back to school / what were your favorite classes? Okay, People always think it's so weird when I say this, but I freaking loved school. And not in the like, I was so popular, I was a cheerleader. Not in that way. I just really liked learning. I liked waking up every day, going to like an institution or a place where I learned something and then I was tested later on. And it was just like a cycle that I guess I felt very fulfilled or satisfied in. And I think I was really lucky to have a pretty good school experience or go to schools that weren't like very intense in any way. So I actually have like dreams where I'm going back to school or going back to university. As for now, I have no concrete plans to do so, but I definitely would someday if there was a specific degree that I really wanted to get and that I needed to go to school for. Or I've been thinking of just doing some online classes or part-time classes on topics that I'm interested in, because I think it just feels good to learn, and I feel like even after you graduate, you should never stop learning until the day does come where I want to go back to school for whatever reason it is. I'm going to continue using resources like Skillshare, Masterclass, reading books, watching informational YouTube videos to, I guess, satisfy my desire to learn. So what's a few things that you think fans don't fully understand about creators / the life of a creator? I think it was actually Colby Carson that asked me this question. I guess I feel like creators are idolized a bit too much in this day and age, which kind of leads to an excessive pressure being put on us, which can sometimes prevent you from really putting yourself out there in the way that you would like. When you first start putting yourself online, streaming or making videos, people really like you for who you are, your uniqueness, how they can relate to you. And then typically as you garner a larger following, and especially as you start to make money from doing what you do, people start feeling distanced from you because you probably start leading a life that they can no longer relate to. And so I think that also leads to them assuming a lot of things about you. But I also want at least the people that watch me to realize that I do probably exactly the same stuff I did 6 years ago when I was $20,000 in debt in college. My life really hasn't changed that much, except for the fact that there's a lot more pressure on me now, and it can be kind of hard to express these sorts of sentiments because I don't want to talk as if I don't now have an immense amount of privilege, because I do, and I'm very lucky. I just also don't want like that fan and creator relationship to be hurt by how a person grows or changes over the years. Yeah, at the end of the day, creators are really only human. I feel like we shouldn't be idolized to an insane extent, but we also shouldn't be hated on to an insane extent either. And sometimes I try to express my perspective as a creator, and I just want to say, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I hope I didn't rub anyone the wrong way or act as if I don't have privilege or blah, 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 blah. So I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from. Do you feel like you have trouble remembering the little people who helped you get to where you are, or just people in your life as a content creator of your size? If so, how do you remind yourself / find balance? I think it's definitely easier to keep in touch with people that I can see on an everyday basis or reach on a daily basis. For example, my roommates who are also streamers, or people who live in my city. But I still distinctly remember so many people and usernames that helped me along the way, especially when I first started. You know, when you have only like 10 people in your chat, every single username is so much easier to remember. So it's so cool seeing their usernames pop back up in my chat, or seeing people at events, or still knowing to this day people that supported me back then. And even though so many of them aren't as active online anymore, there's still people that made such a difference in my life, especially at that time, that it's so hard to forget them. On more of a friend level, honestly, I still have like the same friend group that I had 4+ years ago, whether that's my girlfriends, and a lot of them also stream, or my friends from back home in Canada, like Diana, Paulina, Joe, Nick, Marcos, Mike, all of them. And I'm so lucky that those are people that are still in my life. And even if we don't talk every day, or if we're time zones apart, I still know that every time we see each other in person, it's like nothing changed. It's like no time has gone between the last time that we saw each other. And I think that's so important to have in my life, because they're people that remind me of who I was back then. They know me at my core, and they know the kind of person that I want to be. So yeah, definitely people that keep me grounded and that I'm really grateful for. What are some of your favorite memories or best moments that really mean a lot to you? So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I can sit here and like try to remember, but I think it might be better for me to just roll the clip. I made a Fortnite emote. Oh my god, I want to cry. This is my logo. You birthed an icon, Mom. Oh, that's so cute. 4 million subscribers.
This aggression, not like this. The binding!
Let's go! Oh, baby! Oh my god, no! Go back! A wonderful 4 days here in Paris, and it just means so much to me. I've really always wanted to come. Oh my god, now I'm actually gonna cry.
No.
Au revoir!
Apple juice.
À plus tard! À plus! Apple juice! Those are actual memes! I'd be nothing without you guys! Look at this! Hey!
Superstar 2018. Get the shirt.
And our Twitch Streamer of the Year award winner is Pokimane!
A year and a half ago, I was stressing about chemical engineering exams, and now I'm playing video games for a living. So please, anyone out there, if you have a passion, follow it. It'll be worth it. 2 million subscribers. Oh no, I'm gonna go to the thing! The thing! You know the thing?
Okay!
Oh my god! You
Darling,
know?
I have a secret to tell you. I just wanted to tell you that I have a huge crush.
Apparently, we're about to hit 1 million subscribers, which blows my mind. I appreciate every single one of you. I would have never expected that I'd be at this subscriber count. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for supporting me. I love y'all. Bye! Yeah. Now what?
Look at my life, feel my pain.